Hey everyone, Carl Club here with Project Mayhem, and welcome back to another Top 5 video. Since we're getting close to the end of the Halloween season, I feel like it's best I should do a Top 5 Best Horror Movies. So, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Number 5, The Shining. Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson, becomes a writer caretaker at the isolated, overlooked hotel in Colorado, hoping to cure his writer's block. He settles in along with his wife, Wendy, and his son, Danny, who is plagued by a psychotic paranormal as Jack writing goes nowhere and Danny's visions become more disturbing. Jack discovers the hotel's dark secret being to unravel into a homicidal maniac hell bent on terrorizing his family. Now, I've seen this movie and it's maybe been 3 years since I've seen the movie. It's a little spooky, it's terrifying. Is it the best movie in my opinion? No, but I know in other people's opinions it's actually a good movie to them. But if you haven't seen The Shining, I will recommend actually giving it a watch. There are some good scenes in there, like where he's chasing his wife out in the open of the frozen outdoors, and then Jack freezes to death. Yeah, that's pretty terrifying looking at on his face. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, 28 Days Later. Alright, who doesn't love a good zombie outbreak movie, right? A group of misguided animal rights activists free a caged chimp infected with the rage virus. What do you know? Rage. From a medical research lab when London bike Crusader, Jim, played by Callan Murphy, wakes up from a coma a month after he finds his city all but desiccated. Now, there is a 28 weeks later, which is a little better than the 28 days later, which, in my opinion, but putting this at number 4, if you haven't seen it, it's great, has a great storytelling on who survived and who is immune to the virus, or basically who's infected. I mean, to me, I think it's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I think I watched this last Halloween, and like I said, my memory served me having a very bad attention span lately. I would say please give it a watch, because if you're a zombie fanatic or just a zombie fan like, Shaun of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, or just any zombie movie in general, you would like this one. Number 3, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974 version. In the early hours of August 18th, 1973, a grave robber steals several remains from a cemetery near Newitt, Rutrill County, Texas. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, the robber ties a rotten corpse and other body parts on a mounted, centering a girlish display, which is discovered by a local resident as the sun rises. Driving in a van, 5 young people take a road trip through the area. Sally, Harsty, Jerry, Pam, Kurt, and the cemetery to check it. And Sally, handicapped brother Franklin. They stop at the cemetery to check out the grave of Sally and Franklin's grandfather, which appears undisturbed as the group drives past a slaughterhouse. Franklin recounts the Hardiest family history with an animal slaughterer. They pick up a hitchhiker who says that his own family also has experience with an animal slaughter. Now, I do remember seeing this and the remake. I will say this remakes suck, okay? I like this because I think when I saw this version, I want to say I was maybe 17, 18 when I saw it. It scared the shit out of me. It gave me a few good jump scares and a little trauma, but I like, Leatherface. I love the chainsaw wielding murderer. I do recommend this. That's the little backstory I just read in some of these videos, but we're gonna go on to number 2. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. This was a tough pick for me, and I will not do remakes or reboots because I just think they suck in general. Teenager Tina Gray awakes from a terrifying nightmare in which a disfigured man wearing a blade-fixed glove attacks her in a boiler room. Her mother points out 4 mysterious slashers on her nightgown. The following morning, Tina's best friend Nancy, Thomas, and Nancy's boyfriend Glenn and Lenso counsel her, revealing that they each also had a nightmare that the previous night. The two stay at Tina's house when Tina's mother goes out of town, where Nancy also confesses to have a nightmare about the disfigured man. Tina's boyfriend Rod Lane interrupts their sleepover when Tina falls asleep. She dreams of the disfigured man chasing her. Rod is wakened by Tina's thrashing and seeing her being dragged and fatally slashed by an unseen force, forcing him to flee as Nancy and Glenn waken to find Tina's bloody and dead. Yeah. Who could have predicted this? Here's the thing. If I ever go to a con and Robert Englund is there, I want to meet the man behind the claws. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the series. I love the documentary video they did. Him just being Freddy. There in some of his movies, he acts goofy. He is a killer. The personality of I got your soul, and you can't kill Freddy. You can't forget about me. Because when you remember me, I come back stronger. Because 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better shut the door. Y'all need to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. If you have not watched it, you need to make it this plan to watch it this Halloween. It is a cult classic, and it's definitely worth a watch. Here are some honorable mentions. Hellraiser, The Exorcist, Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Alright, at number 1, Halloween. And before we do anything, no, it's not the Rob Zombie remake. Rob Zombie should stick to music and stop making movies because he sucks at making movies. This is Halloween 1978. And it is another cult classic. On Halloween night, 1963, in the suburban town of Haddon-on-Field, Illinois, I probably butchered that name, 6-year-old Michael Myers stabbed his teenage sister Judith to death with a chef's knife. On October 30th, 1978, Michael's psychiatric physician, Dr. Samuel Looms, and his colleague, nurse Maria Chambers, drive to Smith Grove Sanitarium, where Michael has been incated, to escort Michael to court for hearing. Loomis hopes that Michael will be imprisoned for life. Michael escapes Smith Grove and steals the car. The next day, Halloween, after having killed the mechanic for his coveralls on the way to Haunted Field and stole a knife, rope, and a white mask. Nothing out of mask from a hardware store. Michael sees high schooler student Laura Strud dropped off a key at a long abandoned Myers house that her father is trying to sell. Ren notices Michael stalking her throughout the day, but her friends Annie Becker and Linda Van Der Klunk dismiss her concern. Loomis arrives in Hartfield and finds Judas' tombstone missing from the cemetery, furthering Loomis's suspicion that Michael is in Henderfield. Oh God, I'm butchering that. But yes, my dad is a big classic Halloween fan. He has all the movies, and I think 2 years ago we saw Halloween Kills, and it was god awful. Wasn't the best, but trying to put Michael down. I like it. I've seen it maybe 4 or 5, maybe 7 times. It's always a good movie to watch around Halloween if you're a big Halloween fanatic. I've seen all of them, and Susan the Witch is not technically with Michael Myers. It's just kind of like an off-screen parody, I guess, of just goofiness. But Halloween, if you're a fan, go check it out. If not, you haven't checked it out yet, I still recommend it. Guys, if you like these top 5 videos and you want to keep them coming, let me know if I missed anything in the comments below. Were these your favorite? Do you have something in mind that you like that I missed I should talk about? If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button to know that you love these videos. And I'll have a special video made for Halloween. Until next time, stay safe. And don't let Freddy get you when you fall asleep. Later.